Hey there, everyone. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July weekend, whether you stayed at home or were able to meet with a few people. I know this weather has been fantastic and I've just been able to enjoy that recently. Before I get into today's devotional thought for us, I just want to give you some updates on some things. Just met with the volunteers and the leaders, youth pastors in the area who are helping us put on our teen day camp. I want to remind you about that. That is next week, July 13th to the 17th. That's Monday to Friday. We'll be hanging out from 9 to 4 every day. We'll be meeting at the Warren First Church of the Nazarene right in downtown Warren. We'll be there throughout the day. We'll be meeting there and then doing different things, whether it be going to the park or some other special things that we have going on. It'll be a really great time for us to get together, partner with some different churches, hang out with some students from the area that you may already know, just go to a different church, and have a lot of fun together and learn, since a lot of things have been canceled. We just want to guys give you this opportunity to have some fun and learn and to grow. There's been some questions about it. Want to just remind you, as things go out, I'm going to be putting out an email to your parents with all this information. So if they want to watch this with you, they'll just kind of get a good double dose of everything so that everybody's on the same page. You will need to register. You can do that either the day of or beforehand. You just need to get that into me by this Friday. So if you're going to do that beforehand so that I can get that information into the right hands. There is a information that your parents need to fill out, and then you need to sign this on the back. I'm just saying that you understand the expectations that are going on. There is a cost of $15 for the entire week that just covers supplies, a bus for us to go to the state park one day, different things. But if money is an issue, please talk to me so that we can get that taken care of. There are scholarships available so we can work on that. But you will need to bring a lunch every day and a water bottle and the clothes and shoes you need. We're going to be playing some water games. They're going to be in the water some days, so you'll need to just be prepared. So bring a lunch, a water bottle, and just clothes that you don't mind getting wet or dirty. You may have questions about masks as well. We just have that Pennsylvania mandate that all public places have to have a mask. Parents and students, this is directly for you. We have created and put into place standards where distancing when we're inside is 6 feet apart. We're going to be taking temperatures of people coming in when you register and when you check in the mornings each day. We're doing the best that we can to follow those guidelines and put those things into place. With that being said, masks will be encouraged. There will be masks provided if you need them, but it will be up to you as a student and up to you as parents to how far you want to mandate the wearing of masks for outdoor activities, for when we're active, different things like that. That is completely up to you. We are not going to push anything. We care about the health and safety of everybody involved, but we also want to accommodate and be aware of if you have breathing problems or asthma, running around with a mask probably isn't the best thing. But know that this is if you have any questions about it, please talk to me. There's other information if you want to get in contact. I'll probably be sending these out again just in case if you missed them or if you still need to have a copy. Just have that information ready to go for you on Monday when that gets sent out and that's started. With that, camp being all next week, this week's in-person youth group, we're going to put that off. And since I will be putting a lot of things together for that camp on Sunday, our meeting time will be kind of pushed into that. So we won't be meeting in person this Sunday for youth group, but we will be having this entire camp. this week. And then parents, there'll be just an email along with all of this information in there. But I just kind of want to get an update. And students, you can do this as well, of just where you're at about coming back to church in person for youth group. What your comfort level, parents, what your comfort level for your students are, and what we need to do for that to happen, or if you're just saying we're not ready just yet, or if these changes were in place, then I would allow my student or yourself or your student, or they would be just ready to come back. But all those things, please contact me. I'll be reaching out to you guys this week with all those things. But know that I'm working hard. The church is working hard. We're doing good things. I'm really excited about this camp that is happening and just the opportunity we have to be a part of that. I'll be speaking one day, so it'd be great to see you guys, be able to meet some fellow Christians, and have a really good time. I'm just really looking forward to it. But I believe that's all the updates that I have. Let's get into the message of this. With it being a 4th of July, this last week, I got to celebrate the 4th of July in a very special way. If you know me, I am a theater kid. I love musicals, love music. All that was a theater kid in high school. I just never grew out of it. And if you have Disney Plus, or if you've been on the internet, you know that Hamilton, the musical Hamilton, came to Disney Plus on the 4th of July. And yesterday, after church, I went home. I watched it just because of how busy I was over the weekend. I wasn't able to sit down and watch it because it's almost 3 hours. It's the whole show, start to finish, with a short intermission in between. And I listened to the soundtrack time and time again, but never actually got to see the full thing. Never went to New York and paid the buku bucks to go and watch it. But finally had the opportunity to sit down and watch it, and it was amazing. I loved it. If you have Disney Plus, if your family has Disney Plus, and they're okay with you watching it, it's rated PG-13 just because of some of the language in it. If they're okay with you watching it, I highly recommend it. You're at home, a good way to kill almost 3 hours. But there's a lot of history in it because it is the Revolutionary War. Picks up 1776 and goes through Hamilton's entire life here in America and what he and the founding fathers have done for our nation. All to put in rap and some really cool things into it. I loved it. It was fantastic. I live tweeted the entire thing, so you can go ahead and find me on Twitter and read through that as you're watching it. I just had a really good time with it. But because of it, I thought it would be great just to talk a little bit just about it and how I can put it back. I believe, as we talked about way back in January, I think it was, when our series on media, when we looked at movies and music and all those different things, how we can find God in those things. I think you can find God in Hamilton in several different occasions, but the one thing that I want to focus on is legacy. Throughout the entire, there's multiple themes that run through the musical Hamilton, but one overarching one that you can see come up multiple times is this idea of legacy and how Alexander Hamilton struggles with his legacy. He's so focused on becoming this powerful person that is going to do good because he was brought up in such a harsh environment that the church in his town put money together to bring him to America because they knew, like, this kid has the smarts. Let's get him to a place where he can thrive and he can start doing good. So as he gets to America, it's the heart of the American Revolution, and his first goal is that he wants to be able to be in war, so that even die in war, so that he can be remembered as a hero building this new nation. And then he survives that and becomes second in command, his right-hand man of George Washington. And then as the nation begins, he becomes a wonderful, hardworking lawyer, well-known lawyer. And then that works his way into government and works his way to become the department or the Treasury direct something of the Treasury. I'm losing it right now, but I'm trying to explain everything and not make this even longer than it needs to be. But through his entire life, he's so focused on leaving a good legacy that he misses out on the truth, and that George Washington tries to tell him in throughout the song, throughout the musical, is that you can do all these great things, but when you die, it's the people who are left that knew you that are going to tell your story. You can set all the pieces in place to leave a good legacy, but it's up to other people to tell your story after you're gone. And that's what Hamilton struggles with the entire way through the musical, through the ups and downs of life, war, all these different things. Is that he wants to be so in control of his own destiny and his own legacy that he misses out on the relationships with his wife, his children. We see that he has an affair and tries to be the one to uncover the story and tell it the way that he wants it to, and destroys his reputation on his own terms, and he thinks he's okay in doing that, and causes division with his wife. And has hardships with his kids and different things. But we see through the entire story, even through different characters of George Washington, Aaron Burr, all these people, how they handle this idea of leaving a legacy in this very important time of history. And before this musical, you really didn't know much about Alexander Hamilton, except that he was on the $10 bill. He had his hand in the Revolution somehow. We didn't get to see all of that until you really studied it after this became so popular. But that idea of legacy is what I want to hit on a little bit. I mentioned and talked to you guys about legacy about this time last year, where I had you guys go out into the cemetery here at the church and look at the graveside, the graves, and see that each one has a birth date, a death date, and a dash in between. And the challenge I gave you is each one of us is given this life, and it's going to end. We all have this starting date and an end date. And the question is what are you going to do with that dash, that in between? What kind of legacy are you going to live currently so that when people tell your story, when you're gone, what are they going to remember about you? The thing that is always interesting to me when I help with funerals is the stories that people tell about people, the people that have passed, whether it just be funny family stories or the ways that they impacted them, the things that stick with them. And that's kind of the question I want to leave with you guys this week is who are you living for? And what is your goal in your legacy? Is it, I'm going to be the best athlete that I can be? I want to be remembered it is better than Michael Jordan or LeBron or Kobe, or I want to be the most caring person. I want to do these certain things. Is it going to be about you, or in turn, as we are Christians, as we are Christ followers, is it going to be about God and about Jesus? That when our time is up on this earth, that people are going to look back and say, yes, this person did great things, but they really love Jesus, and that's what stuck with me about them. So I'm going to go back to the verse that I shared with you guys last week. Verse 35 in John 13, verse 35. I read 34 and 35, but I'm focusing on 35 this week. It says, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." That whatever goals we have, whatever aspirations, whatever we want to reach for in this life, as long as we're doing it to show the love of Jesus, the love of Christ to those people around us, if that's our goal in leaving our legacy, then we have done what we're supposed to do. It's not about, and how we do that is by loving people in the here and now, as Jesus has called us to do. It's not trying to make everything look nice on paper like Alexander Hamilton did in each step of his life, in each stage of his life, for people to look back and say, "Oh, these are all the great things that he did." Yes, all some of the things that he did were great for our nation, but he couldn't be the one to tell that story. The people that were left behind told his story, and we're thankful for his wife. And you get to see at the end of the musical that his wife had a huge part in that, of interviewing the people that he worked with, that he fought alongside with, to tell his story, to tell the story of the founding fathers, and to do great things and to carry that legacy on. So the way to carry on a good legacy is to love those people around us with the love of Christ. Because when we're gone, the thing that people that should think about us is that they love Jesus. That should be our goal. Whatever aspirations and things you have that you want to achieve, and you should have those things, they should be rooted in Jesus. That's my encouragement for you guys today. I hope you're still in God's Word, finding different ways to love on people, to be actively building that legacy now. If you have any questions about anything, if you want to watch Hamilton, I can give you my link, give you my Disney Plus account, and get in there. It's really good as long as your parents are okay with it. But I've been on this Hamilton high recently, and I just needed to get this off my chest. I'd love to talk about it more if you want to, but this video has been long enough. Thanks, you guys. Sign up for this camp if you're interested. If you have any more questions, please talk to me about it. I really hope to see you guys. I'll be reaching out to you guys this week. Keep it going. Appreciate everything you guys have been doing. See you guys.